Hello, my name is Holly from My Daily HAEDs on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you for joining me today while I talk about my cross stitch. I hope that you have all had a wonderful week. I have a little bit of a life update and a slideshow of my visit to Berwick, Pier and Norham Castle at the end if you're interested. Okay, straight into the cross stitch. As always, my first project that I show is QS Falling Snow by Alan Giana traded by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is currently done on 25 count 1/1. I have got so much of the tree, well, not much of the tree, but I am really super enjoying all the lovely colors at the top of the tree. And this week I've been when I have been stitching on it, I've had a tremendously busy week in my life. My very calm and orderly life has been very busy and very distracting, but I've been on the areas that are very few colors. I've been trying to stitch at least 200 stitches each time I stitch, and it's been working out well. I'm bound to the bottom of this down to the bottom of this tree trunk here, which will always bring in more confetti in the lighter colors, which I'll struggle. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but I was talking about my method of sorting it out. Crumbs. Oh, that's trying to fall off. Secondly, this is Mountain Landscape, again by HAED, traded by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is, I think this is a stock photo. It's on 18 count aida 2/1. The colors on this are glorious. You can get bogged down in confetti at the bottom there. And sorry, I'm a bit in a hurry today, so maybe it seems like I'm rushing through. I'm trying not to, but whenever you know you got a lot of things to do. I'm hoping to get that column finished by the end of the week. If not by the end of the week, then the next time you guys see this. Okay, so that will be lovely. It's always wonderful to get progress on I just want to see them all. They're gorgeous projects and I love them. I just want them up on my wall. And because we use recycled, repurposed frames, just because I have it done, it doesn't mean it always goes straight up onto the wall, because it's a matter of finding the frame secondhand so that it fits the frame properly. All right, third one, and this is Mini Evening by Leonid Afremov. Again, it's on 18 count 2/1 it's traded by Heaven and Earth Designs. This printout is a lot darker than it is, or duller than it is in real life. And heavens, Betsy, this is so amazing to stitch. Fallen in love with it. It's all I can do to not just put mountain landscape and birds and blooms aside just to stitch on this. And even though I really love birds and blooms, I love them all, and this is what we all say. But that every time I stitch on this, I just want to keep on stitching. But I know that if I put it aside, put all the others aside, I'll regret it. So I keep carrying on. I'm almost to the bottom of this column, which will be wonderful because it'll be my first column completed. And this, I finished stitching it on today. Same thing with the other two projects. I worked on them this morning, over 200 stitches, crumbs. Falling Snow is currently at 24.31%. Mountain Landscape is currently at 25.76%, and Evening is at 2.45%. But these colors are so lovely, and there was a massive block of intermingled stitching between two greens here, 2 or 3 greens, and it was so easy, and you just wanted to keep going, and it was time to put it away because I have way too much to do to leave it alone. Whoops, crumbs. No, stay where you are. My focus project is Birds and Blooms by Aimee Stewart. It's being done on 18 count Aida 2/1, and my hope is to get this done before the end of the year. And this is gorgeous. It's really, it's another one. It's hard for me to stop stitching. In fact, I'll most likely be concentrating on this one this week. I'm going to try to complete the columns on Mountain Landscape and Mini Evening. I'll try to get those done this week. But my hope is to, and I'm hoping to have enough time to work on Falling Snow, at least 100 stitches a day. So, but this one is the one I'm going to be concentrating on for the next week or so. Like I said, we've got some busy times. All right, now this is a blast from the past. It's not cross stitch. It's actually embroidery. It's a kit I rescued off. My husband and I call it rescuing when we see a languishing needlework project. I saw this on eBay because I was looking for embroidery, because at one point I was really enjoying my embroidery work, and I thought this was brown, but it's actually black. So I'm not overly keen on all the colors of it, but this is just, and it's all wrinkly because I've never framed it. I've always thought about making it into a bag or a pot, not a pot holder, but a rug mug or something. But yeah, with all this embroidery work, it'd make it anything you sit down on it very uneven. So I've even considered donating to a charity shop and hopefully finding somebody who would want to adopt it to make it into something. But I did enjoy all the flowers and things like that with it. But it's just something that, like I said, this is, I didn't do all of the black work. The person who had it before did most of the black work. But I did all the colors, which was a lot of fun. All right. Now the reason why I'm a bit jittery and a bit in a hurry is that we had a very eventful weekend. And one of the things is that my car broke down on the way, but luckily, I was very lucky. It was just as I was driving out of my street, and it broke down, and a few neighbors helped me to get it back into a parking space. That's not a big problem. It's just the way life goes, isn't it? But secondly, and also I entered the village show with a few of my items, and I won 2 seconds and a third, which was lovely. And I was going on Saturday. I was going back and forth there quite a bit. Yeah, we had. It's just one of those weeks where you're just in and out. I was out of the house. I was out of the house like 4 days this past week, which means that it impacts everything that I do because I love my settled routine. But yesterday, my husband, we've been talking about it for years. But more importantly, we've been talking about it for several months. He has booked us a 2-week holiday in Greece. Now, considering I haven't been on a plane since my son 2002. I haven't been out of the UK since I was 2009, 8 or 9. So I hadn't been on holiday. This is the first time my husband and I have ever been away on our own. So it's a big event for me. I'm not really a holiday travel-y kind of person. So it's been a new experience for me. But anyway, the reason that I have this thing about when I leave the house, I like to have it spotless so that when we come back in the house, I do like a spring clean when I'm going to leave, and I've never left the house for 2 weeks. So I've only, even when I just go away for like 2 or overnight or a few days, I do this massive clean on the house just to make sure it's spotless and everything's done before we come back. And you come back into a house and it's like, it's clean, it's tidy, there's nothing that needs to be done, over and done with. But I'm in the midst of preparing to go away for a sun holiday. Excuse me. Going away on holiday, which is an exciting thing for us, and having to get all the bits and pieces that we don't even have suitcases because we never go away. We don't have carry-on luggage. I had to get an adapter for the electrics there, and last night I was still so excited about it. Last night at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting there making several lists on my phone as I'm laying in bed, worried about, I need to take this, and I'm making a list of things I need to order from the grocery, get from the grocery store, and things I need to get from this place and that place. And I have spent the whole evening searching for my husband to have some shorts, and so deep breath. It's exciting, but it's also blowing my mind, to be honest. Anyway, so the 2 things I'm going to take with me at this point in time is I'll take birds and blooms, and I will be taking this stamped kit. They just call it sunflowers with pumpkins, or no, what does it say? Oh, welcome fall, it says. Anyway, it's a stamped kit on 14 count aida. I'm going to probably do this at the airport and hopefully on the plane if I can, at least on the way over there. And this is, I haven't done much. I've showed this, I put this on Instagram when I bought it last spring. And I was taking it outside to work on when we had really lovely sunny days this past summer, warm sunny days. I was taking it out and working it in the back garden. That didn't, obviously, considering I've only got that much done, there weren't that many sunny, wonderful days that we had this, and also you got to realize is that when the wind comes off the moors, it just blows everything gets blown around. So I actually have some magnets in the kits where I stick the paper to my metal lawn chair so it doesn't get blown away. Anyway, I'm hoping to get more done. I have no deadline on this. This is just something I bought for appointments or whatever. So that's what the plan is. All right, for the videos, for the YouTube videos, like I said, next Monday we're flying out. So, and we're going to be gone for 2 weeks, and then we're coming back on a Monday. So we won't have video on those 2 Mondays. I'll try. I don't know what the Wi-Fi will be, and I don't know how the holiday is going to go. I might drop in with a quick little update while we're away on holiday, possibly. If not, I will catch up with you the Tuesday or the Wednesday after we get back. So that will be lots of excitement. We went to Norham Castle yesterday. We wanted to go into Berwick to do a bit of to look for some bits and pieces that we need for this. After we booked it, we're then all of us like, oh my gosh, we don't have this, and this. So we went into Berwick to do a little bit of shopping. Didn't find anything we needed there at that point, but there's a lot of shops that are not open on Sunday. But I said to my husband, well, Norham Castle, I've looked it up the other day. It's an English heritage site, and I said, let's pop over there. It's not far from Berwick. And also while we were in Berwick, we went over to the Pier, and it's got the most adorable little lighthouse. I didn't take a picture of it because we didn't park the car. It's only a tiny little car park, and there wasn't any parking lot. There wasn't any space for us to park, and it's on this really dodgy road where it's really narrow and it's got a steep drop off into the sea. And then it's got a brick wall on the other side, so you're on this little road and a steep drop off, and it's like, oh, good heavens to Betsy. Just barely enough, and I'm scared of heights anyway. So as my husband's driving back out, my side is the side where you're looking down into the sea. Anyway, regardless, we didn't have any place to park. We'll probably go back sometime soon, maybe when we get back. So I didn't get to go over to the little lighthouse because it is precious. Yeah, it's one of those cute little lighthouses. We did see some swans there and some sailboats on the water, and I took a picture of those. But then we went over to our Norham Castle. Oh my heavens to Betsy, I was enchanted. It's absolutely gorgeous. Well, I think it's absolutely glorious. It's free to get in. It was just so much fun, and there were people there. There were some ladies there with willow baskets, and they were gathering mushrooms. How cool is that? Good on them. I've never learned the difference between the poisonous ones and the non-poisonous. It's not something I'll ever do, but I have full admiration and think it's very cool that somebody will be doing it. And then there was a young couple, and they were scrumping nuts of some kind, maybe freeze, but I think they were nuts, either walnuts or chestnuts off of one of the big trees there, and I thought that was pretty cool as well. It's good that they're being used. But Norham Castle, it's like on a big cliff above the Tweed. And in some of the photos, if you look, you'll see a little bit of blue at the bottom of the screen. That's where I'm standing at the edge of the castle. And you've got this massive cliff, and that little stretch of blue at the bottom is the River Tweed. It's like so amazing. And I did try to go up in the circular stairs. I'm like I said, I'm scared of heights, and circular stairs scare me. So I was crawling up these these very uneven twisties on my hands and knees, trying to get up because I wanted to get to take photos upstairs, just because I wanted to see, because you could see where once you got up, you had a window with a grail over it, so you could look out. But I didn't get up that far. I got up to about midway between two levels, and it was getting dark. And not dark, it was dark in the stairwell, and it was very, as I got up, it was like, I very gently crawled my way backwards like a toddler down the stairs. Maybe if my husband or son had been with me, I would have been a lot more brave, but me by myself, all I kept thinking is, if I fall down these blooming stairs, it's going to be a nasty accident. And my husband, he's got a bad hip. He's waiting for hip surgery, and he just can't walk that far, and it was a fair piece to get to it. So by the time I got my way, gingerly crawled my way back down. But anyway, it's a fabulous thing, so enchanting. I can't believe I've been here a year and haven't known about how fabulous of a place it is. And I can't wait to go back again. I was just so super excited. But when we come back, it'll only be open on the weekends, unfortunately. So maybe I can go back again on the Sunday. Yet again, the clouds were, it was pretty cloudy, not completely overcast. There was a little bit of blue in the sky, but the photos aren't as bright and clear as I had hoped. Oh, two things I wanted to say. When I was talking about my floss, what I do is when I put my floss in the storage, I put the old ones at the front of if I have multiple skeins, I put the old ones at the front, and I put the newer ones at the back, and I always pick from the front so that I'm always using the older floss first. And you can usually tell the difference between the old floss and the new floss by the feel of it as well. Secondly, I was talking about my Christmas tree and me putting it up. What I didn't explain is that was putting it up, and say my husband never has helped me, and I realized, and you didn't have the full picture of what it was for many, many years. For 20 years of our marriage, my husband was a cab driver in London, not a black cab driver, a mini cab private hire driver in London. And he worked nights and he worked weekends. And when it came up to Christmas, many, many years, he would work every day, anywhere from 14 to 18 hours. And sometimes he would even sleep in his car and continue working because he was just so super busy. He had so many bookings. Or he would stay at relatives or friends' houses sometimes. But once his mom and stepdad passed away, or he didn't really have a place to stay, so he'd just sleep in his. So he worked extremely hard, and he would have very few days off over Christmas. And it was basically, he would get up and get dressed and head out the house. And he would work so many hours that he truly didn't have time, energy, or any kind of desire to decorate a Christmas tree. He loves my tree. And for him, the magic was when he came in from work in the morning time, or sometimes midday, he'd turn the lights on the Christmas tree and then watch the twinkle, because I put several different strands of lights on, and I put some of them to flash. And I've got a lace angel that my grandmother made, and she's at the top, and I try to get the lights where they twinkle underneath her skirt, and it makes a little pattern on the ceiling of where the twinkle lights flicker between her, the little lace of her pattern. And he used to lay on the couch and look at the tree, and he literally loves it. So it wasn't that I was saying that he doesn't help. It was just saying that, due to circumstances. And then the same thing since he changed jobs and retrained and everything, he has helped since he stopped cabbing. He's helped a few times, but I guess by this time, all the years I've been doing it, I mean, my son had helped me many years, until he went away to Army College. He helped me every year. And then the few years after that, it was me doing the tree on my own. But the last few years that he's actually been home and not working on Christmas Eve, and not working like a madman, 5, 6, 7 days a week, he's actually started working on the tree. But this year was the first time that he actually had a dedicated day off so that we could put the tree up together. And it's funny because I didn't realize I was so territorial about how I decorate my tree. You do things a certain way, and all of a sudden you have someone coming in and doing things or wanting to do things a different way. And because he's never put a tree up, it's always with somebody else putting the tree up, he never realized the sequence that you really should put. You put the tree together, because we've been having a fake tree or artificial tree for a few years now. Because when our son went away to college, it was Army College, it was just a lot of aggravation, and it wasn't the same joy as going to the garden center to pick out a fresh tree every year. So we got an artificial tree, and I love the way the tree looks, but it's a process, and it usually takes me 2 or 3 days to get it up because it's such a process. And if you saw my Instagram photos, you can tell the tree is just completely covered. It's got like 5 or 6 strings of lights on it, and it's got all these different ornaments on it, and it's just a long, drawn-out process, like most decorating a tree is. But you'll understand when you see my tree. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that it's not my husband being grumpy, or not my husband not wanting to partake in the celebratory decorating the tree kind of thing. It's just always been in the past that he He was working his socks off to support his family, and I very greatly appreciated it. And it was always kind of like a gift to him when I finally got the tree decorated, so that when he came home, he didn't come home to a box of decorations halfway scattered around the kitchen, the living room. But when he got home on the night after we got the tree completely decorated, he'd be able to come home in the morning, and it was just like lovely. It was wonderful. Anyway, I think that's everything. Oh, Erin, the stay-at-home stitcher, and Hallie, stitching big things with Hallie, were so wonderful. They gave me a shout out, and I appreciate it. And I've really been enjoying what they've been putting out. And Thread the Needle came back. It was good to see her again. And there's other people, and I've been kind of binge watching Crafty Emily, because I've been so stressed, and she just sits there and chats, and it's just lovely. I can sit there and stitch and listen to her chat about her family and her stitching, and it's kind of peaceful and relaxing when I'm able to watch that. But there's so many other people that I want to get to know and watch their floss tubes. But when I first start watching someone, I want to be able to start from the very beginning and work my way up. And also, when I first start watching them, I want to see their projects more. So I'm more about concentrating on what they're doing. With Emily, at this point in time, I've seen so many of the things that she's doing. Every once in a while she'll say, oh, I did a new start at this, and then I'll look up and see. But most of the time I'll just glance up, see her phenomenal progress and that she's got on her things, and then go back to my own stitching. Anyway, it's been a very, very busy but very lovely week, and I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Please forgive any glitches on my, like I say, I'm not planning on doing any kind of editing on this particular video. I will put that slideshow at the end, and I wish you all a wonderful week. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Bye. you.